Ukraine is controlling the entry point to the gas transit pipeline in the Kursk region. So Russia would not be able to operate the gas pipeline because it doesn't control it.
Restarting Russian pipeline gas sales to the EU is being considered by European officials as part of a potential settlement to the end of the war in Ukraine. It would be a big financial boost to Moscow. Of course, it would also lower energy costs across Europe. Before the war, flows through Russian pipelines made up about 40% of the EU's total supplies, with Germany being the largest importer. Oleh Savintsky is a climate and energy policy expert at the Ukrainian Climate Network and also a strategic advisor at Razom We Stand NGO. Good morning to you, Oleh.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us. So first of all, just explain to us what potentially could happen here. Would this be a case of literally just opening the pipeline again and full flowing Russian gas back into the EU?
Actually, I don't think that's possible. And what we see now is a lot of political posturing and, a lot of bargaining ahead of us regarding the energy issues in Europe, as Europe will have to win itself from Russian fossil fuels. And actually, Europe did a lot of progress over last 3 years. But some gas supplies through Turkey are still coming to southern and central Europe. So we cannot say that Russian pipeline gas supplies were cut off completely. That's not the case. And when we're talking about Ukraine, the gas transit through Ukraine is legally not possible because the contract with Gazprom expired on the 1st January. I don't believe there will be any political possibility for renewal of the contract with Gazprom. And another case in point is that Ukraine is controlling the entry point to the gas transit pipeline in the Kursk region. So Russia would not be able to operate the gas pipeline because it doesn't control it.
Do you think it would be a price worth paying to bring an end to the war, to turn Russian gas back onto the EU?
Definitely not. It will not bring the end to the war. It would just extend it and bring it to another phase. Like we are at war with Russia for the last 10 years, and maybe more if we're talking about a hybrid aggression. Russia was
I guess all I'm thinking, Oleh, is some people may say that this could be part of the negotiation to bring the war to the end, not turn it on before, turn the gas taps on before the end of the war, but as part of some kind of settlement, some kind of ceasefire, some kind of agreement.
I think this narrative is being manipulated by some industry players and traders in Europe to get a better bargaining position with Trump and US LNG industry, because the restart of the gas transit through Ukraine would shrink the market for American LNG in Europe. So to get a better deal with Trump, we see those narratives being raised. So actually, there's a lot of political posturing, and unfortunately, very little being spoken about what really Europe committed to do, and what Europe should do is to actually decarbonize, to win itself from fossil fuel addiction, and really go full speed on the energy transition. It was pledged multiple times, but we see that many member states, they are actually doing nothing or moving in the opposite direction regarding the energy policy. Countries like Hungary and Slovakia, they did practically nothing over the course of the last 3 years to reduce their fossil fuel dependency. And that has to change one way or another. The only solution for Europe's energy security is the transparent energy market and rollout of renewables, which are actually already driving the energy prices down.
Okay,
And,
so that has to be the focus. Listen, Oleh, we have to leave it there, but thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Oleh Savintsky, who is a climate and energy policy expert at the Ukrainian Climate Network. I guess one of the challenges there is when wholesale gas prices are high, there's going to be pressure on governments to think about those high energy costs.
Well, we are open to further this cooperation. It must be said that US came in very helpfully in 2022 when Russia was trying to use their natural gas supplies as a weapon of blackmail and manipulation, and we needed to urgently move away from this dependency from Russian gas, and so we're seeking alternative suppliers, and US is now our largest LNG supplier, supplying more than half of our LNG, and actually Europe is the largest destination of US LNG, so we had a good cooperation over the last couple of years, and from our side we are ready to see how to further that.
Germany and France combined GDP out of the world economy?
Well, it's clear that in geopolitical situation which we are facing, with Russia's aggression against Ukraine and with Russia openly talking also about invading other countries, Europe will need to strengthen our defense capabilities and defense industry, and that will require also strong cooperation in a framework of NATO. So certainly there is scope also to discuss how we further strengthen also our military cooperation and military industrial cooperation. Well, we are ready to defend our interests and rights if it becomes necessary. You remember from the first Trump administration when they introduced the tariffs against European steel and aluminium, we responded in a proportionate way. So we are ready to defend our interests, but first and foremost we want to engage with the US administration.
Create diversions of the trade flows, so something will help to monitor.
It's worth noting that the EU and US share the largest trade and investment relationship in the world, so there is a lot of stake also economically, and it's damaging actually for all sides if we go down the trajectory of global economic fragmentation. According to IMF estimates, it actually can bring down global GDP by up to 7%. It's like taking Germany and France combined GDP out of the world economy. So there's lots of at stake, and we are ready to engage with the Trump administration and look for constructive solutions.
Is the run that I'm on now.
Lighter dark chocolate.